My name is Joanne Spencer, and I am an adoptee. One cannot downplay the significance of anyone learning about their history and culture, being able to broaden their understanding of self. I know that quite well because I'm African American, and our history as a race of people was shattered in this country. But in 2010, there are millions of adult adoptees who are citizens of the United States, thousands of which are residents here in New Jersey, whose birth certificates and medical histories have been closed to them. Adult adoptees are not treated as people with human rights. Someone made the decision to give us away. Someone made the decision as to where we should go, to be raised and how. And someone else made the decision to accept that responsibility without any say given to me or anyone else who's an adoptee. We have no original birth certificate. We have no name. We have no knowledge of place of birth. We have no knowledge of who our parents are. We have no medical history. We have no cultural history. We have nothing other than the color of our skin or the slanting or not of our eyes, and even that can be misleading. We have no family history. We have no one that looks like us, acts like us, sounds like us, thinks like us, or behaves like us in any way. We have no family tree. We have no gifts or talents that we know of that have been passed down genetically. We have no continuance of something other than ourselves. Children placed for adoption do not remain children for the rest of their lives. We grow up. I've heard a lot of people talk about children. I'm a middle-aged woman. I'm no longer a child. We are adults. We are human beings. We have a right to own what is rightfully ours, our identity. Many people talked about specific laws that promise confidentiality. I have yet to hear the law quoted. I haven't heard it yet. I don't know where it's found. It hasn't been said. There's an expectation, or I should say there's a difference between an expectation and a law, and they're two different things. Finally, before I sit down, or stand up to sit down, I want to show you this. When I did a search for my birth family, and I found out that I was adopted in East Orange, New Jersey, I went to the East Orange Vital Statistics office, and that's what I was given. A clerk went to the wall, opened up a safe, took out a birth certificate that was stapled about 26 to 30 times all around it. The top one was my amended birth certificate. The bottom was my original birth certificate. Now there's a question here today to say, whose birth certificate is it? According to the staples and what's there and what was in that safe, it's mine. It's mine. They're both there. They're stapled together. The amended one and the original one. It belongs to me. And so I'm asking you today that as you consider everything that you've heard today, look at the people that are here. We're adoptees. It's not just about the birth mother. It's not just about the adoptive family. People are missing the person that they were supposed to be making decisions in the best interest of, us. We're the adoptees, and we've grown up. And I'm a little nervous, but I just thank you for taking the time to allow each and every one of us to speak. But when I saw that birth certificate and the clerk put it on the counter and said, you can look at it, but don't touch it, my first reaction was I wanted to grab it and run. And the only thing I could see in the newspaper headline the next day was, adoptee radical steals her birth certificate. And who would come and get me out of jail? Single parent, who's going to come and get me out? It speaks for itself, and I don't know what else can be said. So many people here have been fighting and trying to get this bill passed for years and years. I thank God for New Jersey Care. I thank God for the Morristown Post-Adoption Group. And I got involved with both of them because I didn't see anything happening in Essex County for people of color. If you look around, I'm the only one here, unless somebody else is incognito. I'm the only one here. And in answer to the opt-in question, that may not happen with my race. Who's here? Me. So I'm saying that it's something that needs to be considered. And I also have to add this, because this is another area that you touched on today. I did find my birth mother, and she did not wish to meet me. I know where she lives. I've got some information, And I was able to get it through the public library back 20 years ago. So I didn't have internet. She doesn't want to meet me. At first, as a younger person, 20 years ago, I was very upset, very bitter. But now that I'm a middle-aged woman, I understand what the society was like back then. I understand the ostracization and the scarlet letter on the sweater and everything else. I understand all of that. But I just want to say, even though I know where she lives, even though I have all the information that I could go and do for those of you who are concerned about horror stories, I have yet to show up on her doorstep. Why? Because of respect. Because I respect her right to not want to meet me. I represent a part of her life that she finds hard to face. In spite of what I want to know about me, in spite of what I want to know about my father, in spite of what I want to know about my sister and my brother, and in spite of the fact that she probably married my birth father, and in spite of the fact that I have met her sister and met my grandmother before she died, I have yet to knock on her door and to intrude in her life. I live with the hope that maybe one day before she dies, she'll be able to reconcile this situation. But if not, I have some closure. So I thank you for this opportunity to address you today.
Thank you, Joanne. I will call up the